Can the foods we eat help treat diseases like type 2 diabetes? Well, this is exactly what researchers in UCD are looking to find out. Functional foods, aka nutraceuticals, are basically foods with an added health benefit beyond simple energy. UCD scientists have been mining milk. Yes, mining milk to see if certain proteins can actually help manage blood sugars. To discuss this in more detail, I'm joined for our regular health slot on Tuesdays by Dr Elaine Drummond from Food for Health Ireland in UCD. Dr Elaine Drummond, good morning and welcome.
Hi Pat, how are you? Thanks for having me.
Very well. Now, just a definition of what nutraceuticals are.
Okay, so a nutraceutical is a food, as you said, that offers an additional health benefit. So it's like a combination of a nutritional product with a pharmaceutical. So a common example would be foods with added omega-3s, foods with added probiotics. But we are looking into a brand new field. We're looking at a food that can help control blood sugar levels. And it's really exciting because, as you know, currently there's a massive epidemic of obesity, and with that brings a high risk factor for development of type 2 diabetes. So
where are you looking?
We're looking at populations with type 2 diabetes, and we're also looking at healthy people. At the moment, we're actually running a study on people with type 2 diabetes. If anyone out there listening would be interested, you can get in touch with us to take part.
So what are you
in
trying to find out from that population of people with type 2 diabetes?
Exactly what we're trying to see is we've mined milk. So by that we just mean we've stripped away the fat, we've stripped away the sugars, and we're only looking at a specific protein. So it's really exciting, novel work.
How did you come up with the idea? Milk we think of as, good for the calcium and so on. And we know there's fat in milk because you can make cream and butter and so on. But how did you come to the notion that there might be something else in there that could do this?
Well, it's actually, there's a lot of research already present showing that people who consume high levels of dairy products have a lower risk of developing diabetes. Now, we can't go out there and recommend people consume beyond the standard 3 portions per day. But what we've done is taken the active component and we've isolated it. And that's what we want to see. How does that work?
And do you know that this particular protein is the active component? You're saying that we know all the other bits and what they do.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's got to be something else.
Well, other studies have already isolated protein. So you've got, your regular protein shakes that a lot of sports people will take. Again, in those populations, you see a lower risk of diabetes. So that, again, triggered the idea. But then you have to look further. You're breaking the protein way, way down. So it really is very novel and it's unique. So we are the only ones who know about this particular part. And it's exactly what we want to test. We want to see how well does it work.
If you can isolate from milk, and we are such massive producers of milk, we've lots of it in this country. How many do they say we could feed?
Absolutely. The current thought is that we could feed 52 million people per year on the amount of milk that we produce. So it's massive, it's a huge potential for Ireland.
Yeah, and we know that with milk quotas going, we're going to be producing more and more milk. We'll be selling it into world markets. Suppose you isolate this protein, which you've done, and you find that it does work. This is the thing that helps to mitigate type 2 diabetes and prevent people from developing it. What are you going to do with it? I mean, what foods will you put it into?
Well, we're working with academics and with industry. So that's the thing. What we're producing is an ingredient, and then we'll be able to sell it on, or the current industry partners will be able to use it in a huge variety of products. I mean, there's a massive food science element to this project and looking at various delivery models. So you could be looking at cereal bars, it could be a drink on its own. The choices are really, really wide.
How much of this particular component, suppose I was just to drink milk.
Yeah.
How much of of milk in litres would I have to drink every day or every week in order to have that beneficial effect?
Oh, Pat, I don't know. I don't even know if you could drink enough milk on its own
to have that
to get the beneficial effect, and you'd be getting so much extra calories and fat, so it just wouldn't work. This is the only way to do it.
So therefore you want to isolate this component and concentrate it and then put it into, as you say, a bar or a drink or something like that.
Yeah, so the research we're carrying out at the moment is really important. Like I said, we've done it on healthy people. Now we're looking for people with type 2 diabetes. So anyone interested could contact me.
Are you hoping that it will be a therapy as well, that it might help people with type 2 diabetes? I mean, will it control their blood sugar so that they don't need to take their pills?
Well, that's what we're wondering now. Nutraceuticals never will replace pharmaceuticals. So depending on, I suppose, the gravity...
You're looking for people who are not yet insulin dependent, I presume.
Well, we're testing it on two. So yeah, pre-diabetics is what you mean, like people who have all the risk factors but they haven't quite been diagnosed. We really think it could help them. And then other people with type 2 diabetes who are not insulin dependent. We wonder if it could help them. And we're quite hopeful.
How are you feeding it to people?
So it's delivered in a drink. So that's my study. I give it to them along with a high sugar breakfast, and I give them this in a drink.
All right, so you're provoking their blood sugars,
Absolutely.
first of all.
So if you go to hospital for a regular diabetes test, you're given maybe a bottle of Lucozade or a sugary powder. It's disgusting. And it's 70 grams of sugar to make your blood sugar spike right up. And then they look at how your insulin kicks in and controls it. What we do is we give the similar sugar, but in a breakfast. And then instantly I give them the protein in a drink. And then I'm looking to see how are the blood sugars responding. Are they possibly not getting quite so high, which would be fantastic.
Yeah. Which is, you've got to be very careful with your controls and so on.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, for example, if I have cereal for my breakfast and I put sugar on it, but then I put milk.
Well, yeah,
you've got
absolutely.
Two conflicting things.
Yes.
Are there other things you're looking at, or is this particularly the one, the milk protein, or are you looking at other nutraceuticals in your area?
Well, in Food for Health Ireland, we're actually mostly looking at milk at the moment. We have some interest in other natural products as well, but we're concentrating on metabolic health. So that's your diabetes. We're also looking at immune function, infant nutrition, healthy aging. So it's a combination of 7 national universities all looking into this research.
I remember we had talk on this programme about whey and the impact that it could have. Dr. Paddy Wall was saying that it could be whey at the moment is a byproduct of cheese. But he said, the way things are going, that cheese might just be a byproduct of whey, because whey is such an extraordinary
commodity,
product.
Absolutely,
for recovery drinks, for athletes and so on, and for people who are elderly, that it can actually prolong their good health.
That's right, because what's really important in healthy aging is the maintenance of muscle. So you really want to hang on to your muscle mass as much as you can as you get older, and drinking whey protein products is a really helpful way to do that.
Should we be cautious about the claims made by the food companies about beneficial health effects from foods, cholesterol reducing? I mean, by how much? If it's 0.1 of 1%, that's really not enough.
I know. So the thing is, luckily for the consumer, we're really tightly regulated by the European Food Safety Authority. They don't let companies get away with anything. So if a claim is being made and it's inaccurate or it's misleading, they're straight in there, and the company is not allowed to make that claim.
They cannot make. So that's all about food labelling. What you can say, what you cannot say.
Absolutely. So that's why we're doing such detailed research at the moment, in order to really substantiate what we're seeing.
One comment here from Hannah. Food doesn't need extra additives. We survived thousands of years without scientists, so why don't the researchers work to prove how damaging food as it's consumed now can be, and look at the dangers of additives and sugars?
Well, there's loads of research going on in that. We're not actually adding anything. We're simply looking at a natural food, and we're just taking away the fat. This has been done for years. I mean, cheese is made by doing that.
I mean, you have to look at this in the round. In earlier times, people worked a lot more with their bodies. They actually got rid of many of the calories that they consumed. Nowadays, we're work less with our bodies. So it's our lifestyle. If I take, say, my late father, who worked physically quite a lot every day, he could eat huge amounts of potatoes and cabbage and all the rest, vast amounts of calories every day, and it didn't affect him.
And he was burning it off. But we really do. I mean, the modern life is so vastly different to back then. And also, we're looking at people living into their 90s. That has never happened before. So I'm afraid the romantic notion of going to a local farmer, it's just, it doesn't quite fit. It's not so simple. But this is not a case of inventing a foreign substance and putting it into us. This is a natural thing.
And there's another comment here. I was going to the toilet every half hour and 10 times a night, so I cut out coffee and fizzy drinks. I now only drink green tea, and I've never felt so good. So
well, fair play to that person, because cutting out the fizzy drinks is the best thing you can do.
The best thing you can do.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you very much.